the Scott Ballard Show here on the Warrior Sports Network. Grant Wall joined, as always, by Winona State head women's basketball coach Scott Ballard. And Coach, you got your first two NSIC home games of the season last weekend, and you got 2 wins out of it. You have to be really pleased with the way you played against Sioux Falls on Friday and then Southwest Minnesota State on Saturday.
Well, it was good to be home after playing 3 games on the road over a 2-week span. But you know, our kids, I was a little concerned about how our focus would be coming off of finals week, but you know, our kids did a good job of executing game plan. Against Sioux Falls, we did a good job of guarding their 3-point shooters, and we changed defenses up quite a bit. We ended up winning that game with our man-to-man defense. We really rebounded the ball well. We out-rebounded them 40-25. We got to the free throw line quite a bit with dribble drive opportunities and finished well there. So it was a grinded out game. It was, you know, they made a run late in the game and made it a 1-possession game, you know, several times in the last 2 minutes, and we made 7 of 8 free throws to ice the game. So we had to do a lot of things well. We overcame, you know, 21 turnovers, and half of them were just plumb silly. You know, dribble the ball out of bounds. There were some charges called that, you know, were questionable, but you know, we did a good job staying in attack mode. And then the next night against Southwest, we started off playing man-to-man, and they isolated their big kid Nagel a few times in the lane and got us on you know, some pick and roll situations. We switched to our zone, and that kind of slowed them down quite a bit offensively. Again, we had a good rebounding night. We had a really good shooting night. We shot over 60% from the field, which, you know, we've been struggling to shoot 35%. But it was all done within, you know, the concept of our offense. We made the extra pass. We were ready to shoot. We took good shots. We shot a good percentage. Gained a lot of confidence as the game went along. It was a fun game because we got to play everybody, and you know, ended up winning comfortably.
Defense has always been one of your calling cards. The Warriors always play really, really tough defense. But it seems like this year that's something that you're really keying yourself on. It's a group that is second in the conference in scoring defense and has not allowed opponents across the board to shoot the ball very well. That's got to be something that you're very pleased to see.
Well, I'm glad, because you know, our offense has been struggling up until the Southwest game to shoot a good percentage, and we've not particularly shot consistently well from 3-point land. So this team has been more of a dribble drive team, trying to get the ball in the lane with dribble penetration or post play and get to the free throw line. Also, we have to hit the offensive boards. If you're not shooting a good percentage, you got to get more offensive rebounds and more possessions and more free throws to try to make up for it. We were able to do that this last weekend. But, you know, we're learning more about our team and their strengths and their weaknesses and what they're comfortable with. We're getting better at some things, you know, with our zone. We've not ever played very much zone, and we've played quite a little bit the last 3 games, and it's been good for us. So we're learning how to get comfortable and make adjustments. I think that's the biggest thing. But one thing that we really stressed our players this last week was know the personnel. You know, whether you're playing zone or man, don't guard every person the same way. You know who the shooters are, know who the drivers are, know what post people catch it down low that you're going to either double team or try to deny the ball to. So, you know, just being focused and knowing the personnel really helps you out a lot with regards to execution.
A lot of really strong individual performances from the Warriors this past weekend. But one that I thought stood out to me was the play of Connor Nagel coming in off the bench, scored 11 points in both games. You mentioned knocking down some open shots and getting the Warriors in both games kind of sparking runs that built leads.
Well, you know, she had a good weekend. Her and Kelsey Ambrose both had good weekends at both ends of the floor, not just shooting the ball, but they were very efficient. Didn't take a lot of shots, but took good shots and hit a good percentage. helping stretch the defense out for people that like to drive. But Connor's been very active defensively, and she's a good passer and doesn't turn the ball over very much. So we feel like we found somebody, in the last 2 or 3 games that's given us a spark coming off the bench. So we hope that continues and that we can get some other players to in the mix coming off the bench as well.
It was a great way for the Warriors to start their conference home schedule. 2 wins last weekend. Up next for the Warriors, a game against Upper Iowa on Saturday. When we come back later this week, we're going to talk to Coach Ballard about the Peacocks.